I overcame emptiness this morning. The first rays of dawn barely pierced through my curtains, but the morning light offered no warmth. I woke with a familiar heaviness, a cold knot in my stomach that signaled God's absence. It wasn't a logical thought, more a pervasive feeling, like waking up in a house that should be bustling with family, only to find it utterly silent and empty. I lay there for a long moment, wrestling with the quiet, the feeling of being utterly alone in my spiritual walk. I tried to conjure up feelings of faith, to force gratitude, but it felt hollow. My prayers felt like words bouncing off a ceiling, never reaching their intended destination. "Where are you, Lord?" I whispered into the stillness, but there was no answer, no comforting presence. Just a profound, disheartening quiet. Doubts began to creep in, whispering old lies about my worthiness, about God's care, about the very reality of His nearness. Then, as if a flicker of light pierced through the gloom, a verse, half forgotten, surfaced in my mind: "Delight yourself in the Lord and He will give you the desires of your heart." Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him and He will act. Psalm 37 verses 4 and 5. Delight myself? I scoffed internally. How could I delight when I felt so disconnected? But the words lingered. It wasn't about my desires first, but about delighting in Him. Another verse followed, like a domino effect in my memory: "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied." Matthew 5 verse 6. And then, the promise, powerful and clear: "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Jeremiah 29 verse 13. The realization hit me. I wasn't seeking Him with my whole heart, I was seeking a feeling of Him, a blessing, a comfort. I was chasing the gift, not the giver. A wave of humility washed over me. I wasn't hungry enough for Him, for righteousness. My desires had subtly shifted from God Himself to what I thought He could provide. It was a subtle, dangerous drift. I thought of Psalm 27 verse 4, "One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek Him in His temple." This was the desire I needed. The singular focus that cuts through the noise of a restless heart. I slowly sat up, the silence of the room now feeling less empty and more expectant. I closed my eyes and began to pray, not with a forced fervor, but with a raw honesty. "Lord," I began, my voice a little shaky, "I confess, my heart has strayed. I woke this morning feeling you were absent, but the truth is, my gaze has been elsewhere. Forgive me for chasing the comfort, the blessings, instead of chasing you. My heart has envied the apparent ease of others, the worldly things, instead of continuing in your fear. As Proverbs 23 verse 17 says, "Let not your heart envy sinners, but continue in the fear of the Lord all the day." Help me to truly fear you, to reverence you above all else. I continued, letting the words of the Psalms guide me. I want to delight in you, Lord, not in my circumstances, not in what I can get, but in you alone. Realign my desires. Let my only hunger and thirst be for your righteousness, for your presence. Matthew 5 verse 6 promises satisfaction for those who hunger for righteousness, and I desperately want that hunger. Tears pricked my eyes as I reached Psalm 73 verse 25, Whom have I in heaven but you? And there is none on earth that I desire besides you. I repeated the words, letting them sink deep. There is none on earth I desire besides you. Truly, Lord, there is no one. You are my greatest treasure. Draw me back to that truth. Help me to seek you with my whole heart, as Jeremiah 29 verse 13 promises, so that I may find you. As I spoke those last words, the quiet in the room shifted. It wasn't an audible voice or a sudden flash of light, but a gentle, undeniable warmth spread through my chest. The knot of absence loosened, replaced by a quiet knowing. God wasn't absent, I had just forgotten how to seek Him. By turning my focus back to Him, by desiring Him alone, He met me right where I was, in the stillness of my bedroom. The morning light now felt bright, full of promise, a tangible reminder of His ever-present grace.